नमस्कार, मैं आरबी सिंह यादव और आप देख रहे हैं मेरा यूट्यूब चैनल आरबी सिंह यादव एडिटर। आज दियालबाग विश्वविद्यालय में जो इंटरनेशनल सेमिनार हुआ था उसका 7वां वीडियो हम आपको दिखा चुके हैं। अब हम आपके सामने ये नया वीडियो आपके सामने प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं और इसमें सेमिनार में ग्रुप डिस्कशन हुआ है। एक दूसरे व्यक्ति ने एक दूसरे से सवाल पूछे, उनके जवाब दिए गए और ये सारी चीज़ें आपको इस वीडियो में देखने को मिलेंगी। इसमें डायरेक्टर जो दियालबाग विश्वविद्यालय के डायरेक्टर हैं पटवर्धन साहब, वो और उनके तमाम टीम के लोग इसमें आपको सवाल जवाब बहुत सारी चीज़ें दिखाई देंगी। तो देखिए ये वीडियो, और वीडियो देखने के साथ साथ मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना बिल्कुल ना भूलें। नए दोस्त जो हमारे दर्शक हैं वो इस वीडियो को सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर करें, वीडियो को लाइक भी करें और शेयर भी करें। अब देखिए ये वीडियो।
Eminent panelists for today's panel discussion, invited guests, experts, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the organizing committee, it is my proud privilege to welcome you all in this session for panel discussion and validatory function for the great conferences BSc and NC 2024. And today represents the Institute's pair. We are requested to remain seated, please. Thank you. We'll begin the program with the opening remarks by the organizers. I'll request Professor Anand Srivastava from Keynote University, Germany to kindly deliver his introductory remarks, please.
Most of the gracious of you, most respected Honorary Saiba, dignitaries, and Dialog colleagues and participants around the world. We are now coming to the end of the twin conferences, and we have seen exciting talks and vivid discussions, and really hope that this will go on in the future. Today, the last section of the program comprises of a very special keynote talk by Professor Agarwal, former professor at IIT Delhi and president of the Association for Public Transport Development in India, followed by the panel discussion, the consensus building meeting for the BSc and MSc conferences next year, the concluding remarks by the dear Professor Satsangi Sahab, and a short cultural program. I kindly request Professor Anand Mohan to take the chair for the next keynote talk.
Thank you. Professor A.L. Agarwal requires no introduction because he has been very closely working with DEI and DEALCA for the last several years. However, for the benefit of the audience, I'd like to make few remarks. Professor A.L. Agarwal, the former professor at IIT Delhi, is a seminal figure inspiring road transport using systems approach. He was coordinator of the Applied System Research Program in the Department of Electrical Engineering at IIT Delhi. Upon his retirement, he was awarded Emeritus Professorship by AICTE, and he has also served as visiting professor in several reputed institutions. Professor Agarwal was appointed chairman of the Road Transport Corporations Act at the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways by the Government of India. A stalwart and a gifted human being, he is a man with tremendous determination, passion, and commitment. With these few words, I now invite Professor A.L. Agarwal to please deliver his keynote address. Professor Agarwal, please.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers of the NFC DSC 24 conference for inviting me. You led the program by involving dedicated faculty members from various departments and centers. I had the privilege of being appointed as the coordinator at ASRP, likely to my interest in transport research, one of ASRP's core focus areas alongside energy planning and technological forecast. And the ASRP, I completed two sponsored research projects, one on the common viability of the gas-based power project in Hyderabad, and another one on minimizing jet mileage during transportation, both sponsored by the Government of India, ultimately and the Department of Science and Technology. The power project has been fulfilling at Hyderabad till date. It is supplying power to UP and all the neighboring states. Project of minimization of jet mileage led to promotion of convenience and of commuters and increasing revenue in transportation. I firmly believe that the Agroecology of Kerala serves as a key model of the system support in action. The Industrial Conference on Transportation System Studies was organized in 1986 at IIT Delhi under chairmanship of Professor Samyasa in his welcome address to delegates on December 19, 1986. Most representatives of the union, Professor Samyasa, highlighted the issues of system thinking. He put it, any model is a caricature of reality. A caricature has been effectiveness by leaving out all context. Model achieves utility by ignoring his element Assembly draft also President William Shakespeare said he has spotted and saying, if I aim to do where it is so easy as to know what we are put to do, chapel had been accepted, and poor men of their education perished. Others have underscored the importance of communication in community unity, discipline, self-sacrifice, and sustained hard work as essential components of success. Principles echoed by both through Bhakti Maharaj. In conclusion, would certainly not thank his colleagues, that is myself, I am the person that for his exceptional dedication in organizing the 1986 conference as his convener, remarking on the sustained devotion to the cause. Sir, we have worked day and night. We have reappraised the product before 12 we never reached. Always worked day and night. He was always with me, I was. These were both from the movie highlight the image there was system good, not without the charity. Energy system was unwavering commitment and a holistic perspective. As I focus on the theme of this note, the system supposed to start with planning, need for and scope of, I would like to share my thought. The government of India is facilitating highway construction part of the core development policy, but it's equally important to address related issues. These include regulation of the speed limits, controlling voltage, ensuring authenticity of driving licenses. I wanted to be there so that I could get the rules on person. But one person is adopted as community area and part of the any question that you want to ask, no problem.
We can take one or two questions if there are any from the audience, please. If not, then we thank Professor A.L. Adwal for his very illuminating talk. And sir, on behalf of the conference delegation, we wish you a very happy life. Years to come. Thank you.
I'm extremely privileged and honored to be given this task to moderate this panel of eminent experts on the various walks of life. And this discussion is based on the most relevant guidance and basics of most civilizations, including and respected Agroecology. The theme of today's panel discussion is art, science, and engineering of re-evolutionary consciousness for the sustainable development in quintessential harmony with the environment. Although I think that this topic is self-explanatory, however, I could briefly introduce the essence of this panel discussion topic. In my mind, sustainable development in quintessential harmony with the environment underscores the typical role of systems thinking, holistic thinking, in understanding and addressing complex global challenges such as climate change, resource depletion, and social inequities that are prevailing very much in today's world. By focusing on the interconnectedness of human and environmental systems, the conference and this panel discussion seek to inspire holistic approaches towards problem solving for a sustainable future for not only the current generation, but the generations to come in the future. And most grateful gracious to you, most respected Rani Sarvaj, fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen present here and connected with us across the globe. I think I'll share some of my experiences here in Yalba and part of a study which I had conducted in the past, share the results of it. I will just start. Professor Warner Heisenberg, father of quantum physics, said the first 12 from the class of natural sciences were turned into an atheist, but at the bottom of the class, God is waiting for you. The 20th century concepts like superposition and entanglement have not only revolutionized computing, but have also brought us closer to the scientific acceptance of consciousness as a universal phenomenon. The finely tested 0-1 bits of binary system or quiet path or duality used in classical computers is getting outdated by an abstract pleomorphism. The quantum states do not negate duality, they rather transcend duality to a state that defies any numerical nomenclature. These could best be termed as non-dual states, not limited to, but include duality. The states that are perhaps the backbone of Indian classical system, Advaita or unity, is much more than mere affirmation of non-duality. As stated by most revered Professor Prem Charan Saab, they can adapt, can even practice duality at will. During the September 2022 DSC, I had made a presentation empirically establishing consciousness to be a universal phenomenon. The deduction was based on the principle of Niche Dha, as is operational with Ra, Dha, Swa, A, Ni, Fe, Vyalpa for the last over 200 years, whereby the spiritual front of the departing Supreme Master migrates into a different august personality, transforming him into an omniscient, omnipresent, and omnibenevolent Supreme Spiritual Master like his predecessor, giving seamless access at phononic speeds much faster than the speed of light to him, to the highest region of the macrocosm. The succeeding Spiritual Master thus gets command in full measure to all information generated by or as was available to the preceding Spiritual Master. To verify this fundamental axiom, a large number of adherents located across the globe were approached and they shared information about their personal interviews related to their some problem which two or more successive spiritual masters. The data ambiguously reflected. Similarly, in advice mercifully rendered by the succeeding spiritual master to that of the preceding spiritual master. The advice rendered by the succeeding spiritual master was in a different environment years later at geographically varied locations. The master-adherent relationship should be viewed in the backdrop that there are millions of adherents or others who get opportunity of seeking judicious advice. It is humanly impossible to remember each and every adherent and recall each and every interaction to that specific person. And here we are dealing with relationship between many adherents or others vis-a-vis one spiritual master. And there is also nil physical prompting or exchange of information between the successive spiritual masters, as the preceding master had departed from this terra firma on completion of the mission, honoring the laws of nature, and the incumbent spiritual master has succeeded in the recipient of each heart, this large spiritual trust. Despite all the apparent odds, the successive master render guidance or advice similar to the predecessor for the welfare of the adherent. It was clearly established that information once created does not get destroyed on return of the preceding master from the physical world, but remains stored in an indestructible non-physical Russian sport to the succeeding spiritual master without any net or hindrance. This phenomenon clearly proves the fundamental axiom that consciousness is a universal phenomenon and not a physical one, as is generally accepted by the scientists research in natural science. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful thoughts. Keep on going.
Thank you very much, Professor Sanjay Doshi. The bedrock of everything that we do here is the Dialogue Education Policy initiated in 1975 by His Holiness Dr. M.B. Lal Sahib, the 7th revered leader of Radha Swami faith. I am founder director of Dialogue Educational Institute. It's included in itself many facets that we now see the Government of India coming up with the latest education policy called as NEP 2020, emphasizing those features that were already there in the 1975 Dialogue Education Policy. Dialogue Educational Institute became a deemed university in 1981, and a lot of progress has happened since then. However, this policy has remained immutable and forms the basis of all our activities. And as you pointed out, the policy envisages the development of complete persons who can address the challenges that are being faced in the world today. The innovative and unique system of education that Dialogue Educational Institute pursues endeavors to create men and women capable of taking a holistic view of things with a value system that can change radically the visage of humankind. The message is of tolerance and respect for the views of others, equality and peace, belief in one supreme power as the creator, and therefore in universal brotherhood. The policy that has been implemented is creating complete persons that not only have this feeling of brotherhood, but also have the capability to spread the message for the benefit of humanity at large. When old students come here for their reunions, all of them invariably say that the values that they learned here have stood them in good stead throughout their careers. This message of tolerance, respect for views of others, equality, peace, belief in one supreme power, this is the greatest possible service that one can render to mankind to usher in a better world order. And we endeavor that our graduates will be doing this task and performing this service to humankind. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much for your inspiring leadership to the DIM fraternity. You highlighted the unique ability of the spiritually raised core program of DI, founded by none other than most revered Professor M.B. Lal Sahib, and still continuing with the most benevolent guidance under the chairmanship of revered chairmanship of Advisory Committee on Education headed by Professor P. Sahib, Bishop Huzur. So now I would like to In that continuity, I'd like to invite our Honorable Registrar, Mr. An Mohan, to highlight, because he has been quite closely engaged in various programs of community engagement of higher education institutions and also to the level of UNESCO program. He has served Banaras Hindu University in various capacities as a scientist, as an educator, as well as a policy maker. The Banaras University, which also happens to be the alma mater of most education group. So I'd like to know from you, sir, the vastness of knowledge, the range of knowledge that spans across various walks of academics, research, and the various activities that you perform as a social human being also. So can you just like to throw the light on this?
Thank you, Professor Sanjay Bhushan. With my background of being a geologist, I would answer your question in twofold. Let me begin with that our Earth is a very small stage in this vast cosmic arena, which has already witnessed 5 mass extinctions in the geologic past. People are passionate with enthusiasm about the outer space, but the Earth's interior and the oceans are equally, if not more, exciting. Very recently, you may be aware that the deep sea is one of the largest habitats on this earth, with abundant life supported by unique ecosystem concerning the climate change and global warming issues. Scientists have recently discovered mysterious dark oxygen at the ocean bottom generated by the lumps of polymetallic nodules including manganese, copper, cobalt and nickel. Likewise, they have found a reservoir of water 3 times the volume of all the oceans at the deep beneath the Earth's surface, and this water is hidden inside the blue rock called ringwoodite, lying 700 kilometers below the mantle. What I am trying to conclude is that there is no finality of knowledge, but the real knowledge comes through meditation, the inner experience, which is, I believe, is a gateway to infinite bliss and a panacea for good health and well-being. I would then like to conclude with a Chinese proverb: it is better to light a candle than curse the darkness, which is very apt here because this candle on this Shangri-La of Diyarbakh has been lit to let the light shine forever and brighten our inner glow with the divine grace and mercy of revered Professor Bill Saran Singh. Thank you.
Thanks indeed for the kind words of wisdom and guidance. We have amongst us Mrs.
Yes, in community initiatives, spiritual stamina plays a very important role. Spiritual stamina refers to inner resilience and the ability to maintain purpose, peace and strength when faced with adversity. Those with high spiritual resilience respond with wisdom, compassion, patience and maturity, focusing first on changing themselves rather than imposing changes on others. It is this spiritual stamina that further propels our efforts towards a harmonious and balanced existence. I believe that this, in fact, shifts one's inner compass. Forgiveness comes more easily here rather than revenge. Giving becomes unconditional without any expectations. In communities like the one in Diyarbakh, no comparisons are made. Instead, unique attributes of all individuals are nurtured, developed, and honed. A certain degree of mutual understanding, along with a deep sense of acceptance, develops here, which further uplifts our spiritual fortitude. This spiritual stamina acts as the unifying force amongst community members and facilitates their common agenda, which is then easily implemented. For example, Dalbagh has been able to successfully restore an ecological village and protect it from the engulfing technology and accompanied destruction of biocultural diversity. Success of such projects is a testament to the strength that comes from inner purity, mental clarity, and a collective zeal to contribute to a common goal. Spiritual stamina, nurtured through daily practice, enables the community to stay resilient, joyful, fulfilled, and ready to face another day and another agenda. Thank you. I am deeply indebted to revered Chairman Ace for the inspiration after release of his book on the role of communities in sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your addition in this.
Thank you very much, Professor Sanjay Bhushan, for giving me this opportunity to express my views on a subject which is of utmost importance, not only because the Advisory Committee on Education has been a source of inspiration for all of us. It meets every other month, and I have the privilege of making a presentation on the distance education program of DEI. And through the activities of this program and the advice received from our chairman, I would like to draw a picture which will clearly show that the program of education stands out in our world. And this is a claim which I make not only in this forum, but when I am given an opportunity to express my views outside also. At that time was almost unknown, which is a combination of the conventional face-to-face program and the E or the electronic form of the program. And the world has started accepting the distance, world has started accepting the blended mode of education as the best mode only recently. Similarly, our respected chairman has been guiding us on many other issues. For example, when we started this program, and I have been very fortunate to be a part of this program from the very beginning, he told us that the value system that we teach to our face-to-face students should also be a part of the distance education. And as we have followed the advice of our chairman all through, even a course of 9 weeks, which is a standalone module, which many people are doing nowadays because of employability possibilities, we put an abridged core course as the value-based education course, because that was the advice given by our chairman. And when we did a very detailed survey, it was conducted under the aegis of ACE. The students, in large numbers, the majority of students said that the thing which mattered most in their life as an alumnus was the value-based education, and they derived maximum benefit from that, even more than they derived from our education system. So we have, in that respect also, been very successful. Then I may say that our distance education program is a societal program, a program which is meant for the society.
Thank you very much, sir. that the core model of DA education is to serve the last, the least, the lost, and the lowest.
Absolutely in accordance what Dr. Samife teaches. The sounds are divine and they are the form of God. So all these things are already there, and in future ESC conferences, I would like to encourage researchers, especially from the Western Hemisphere, to align to the discourses of Union Professor Sarkiswar, take them seriously, and try for a true and sincere discourse with the East. Thank you very much.
We further will be promoting various research activities from DI and engaging DI students and academicians in various activities at Arizona through your kind efforts. So I'd like to know from you that this topic of consciousness that we are deliberating upon today, how do you perceive this topic not only from an academician perspective, also as a social perspective, like how does all these things bring change in people's quality of life, their behavior, their approach towards living a better life for the welfare and the goodness of humanity.
Thank you for this question. That sort of reminds me of my own trajectory. From my education, I was a trained behaviorist, right? So I was more Skinnerian in that sense that I would think about behavior as a function of environment. But at the same time, when I started to get involved with the TSC conference and started to talk to these all the Eastern and Western researchers and philosophers, I started to transform my thinking, where I became more mindful about some subjective experiences. And I kind of reminded myself of some of the training that I had from Skinner, who said that we have private events, we just don't know how to measure them, so that's why we were so discarded from this whole analysis of behavior. So in my journey of being an academic, I noticed that I was falling short in many ways in trying to address some very complex issues, some uncertainty, diversity of ideas that were existing, and was not able to find that level of unification and beauty, and could not even connect different kinds of thoughts if I was not becoming conscious about what was happening. So in my own journey, I have noticed that I have sort of adapted myself, transformed in many ways, and renewed my interest into this consciousness.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for being here in Arizona and inspiring our students and academicians from here at DI.
Thank you very much for the question. And let me start with a story out of physics. Since about 100 years, we have two strong pillars upon which our current image of the world rests. That's quantum physics and relativity. And even after 100 years, we are not able yet to combine the two. There must be a combination. There must be an overlying, basically a roof over the two things. So far, we always take a quantum solution and add the relativistic stuff to it, and vice versa. And then often are surprises that this doesn't work out. And we are in a similar situation if we compare the situation of today when we talk about the physical world and the world of consciousness. We come from the one or the other direction. What we really have to look for is an overarching model for the whole thing that contains both. That contains both in the sense, when you're mostly interested in the physical nature, then you go to that limit in the combined field. And when you're interested in consciousness questions, then you go to the other limit, but both within one type of theory. And for that situation, we are not yet at. So my caveat, we should not try, for instance, to take quantum solutions and derive consciousness from it, or vice versa. We have to look for something that contains both. And when I look to the situation, and if I look back to the last 5 conferences here, in which I had the online, live, the honor and pleasure to participate, I have the impression this is exactly the right forum for making that progress. And we are on a progressive way in the right direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your insightful thoughts. We now have with us Professor Herbert Lamb, the board member in the German Indian Society, and he is instrumental in promoting the research tools of renowned Anglo-German politicians all over these and parts. So you delivered a scintillating paper and a talk yesterday about Nada music, Nada sadhana, and today we had a wonderful.
I have to admit, I did not follow the early morning proceedings because it's only 8 o'clock in the morning at Germany. So I would like later to refer to 2 aspects of 2 lectures from yesterday and day before yesterday of Mr. Tushla and Mrs. Srivastava. But first, let me say a few things about the connection of how to connect arts, especially music, sound, nada, and science. On which level of correlation do these subjects influence each other? Hopefully, to advance understanding and solutions for human, social, technical, and political developments. Musical activities, as we know, as you know also from your own experience, is a group. It's a communication between persons, between the persons who sing or play together. So on a level where you communicate to the inner understanding, to the emotions and the consciousness you have to react to the other persons with you in the group, being small with a Carnatic music ensemble of 2, 3 or 4 persons, but also the satsang singing, the mantra or the mantra recitation or whatever you do. It's you communicate with your neighbor, with your group members without exchanging messages, but by doing the same thing, by following the same sound. Now this is, as you all know, culture, music, whenever governments have to cut down financial aspects, then culture, music, whatever it is, art, sports, first subjects to be reduced or put into the path. This is very sad aspect because, as we know from early childhood onwards, musical education is an important factor for mental conscious development. This is one, and as how can we connect arts and science together? I want to refer to one of Indian physicists, very famous, Mr. C.V. Raman, Nobel laureate. He did very interesting research on acoustics of the mridangam. The mridangam is the South Indian main percussion instrument for the classical music. Similar parallel there we have the tabla and North Indian music. Now, all of them are the only drums instruments who have tuning, basically a very clear tuning compared to all other drums in the world. The tabla and the mridangam are the only instruments who are tuned to a very clearly defined basic note and with all its oscillating overtones. So this would be I think an interesting subject to
in the musical field about sound and its perception within the metaphysical and esoteric approach and this transcendental notion maybe can help to or can give ideas, indications where maybe, as you just referred earlier, where scientific subjects and understandings which are at the moment not corresponding to each other or not being connected, maybe we can help there to find the connecting level to discuss these things more clearly. I hope this is idea which can be followed up and where maybe it's the exchange between the arts field, especially the music field, to the Nada understanding of Indian culture and the modern physics, the modern sciences can connect with each other and maybe nurture each other with more concrete ideas on these subjects. Thank you.
Maybe truly said that
spiritual consciousness. As you all know, the world today is facing unprecedented environmental challenges with unsustainable lifestyles, steering a triple planetary crisis of climate change, nature and biodiversity loss, and pollution and waste. This calls for an urgent need for changes in lifestyle that support sustainable development. Towards this, India's Lifestyle for Sustainable Development, LIFE, L-I-F-E, initiative presents a practical approach to integrating sustainability into daily life. This gained momentum during India's G20 presidency in 2023 and was adopted by the G20 nations. It aims to encourage individuals and communities towards lifestyles that are in harmony with nature, minimizing environmental harm and contributing to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Agreement's climate targets. Individual and community behavior is central to achieving sustainable outcomes under the LIFE framework. These are characterized by human values, beliefs, attitudes, and ethics. Now, moving beyond the physical plane, the framework can be expanded to include spiritual consciousness that can play a significant role in sustainable development. Spiritual consciousness serves as a differentiating factor that reinforces the path to sustainability. It leads to inner transformation in individuals, nurturing values such as compassion, respect, responsibility, and mindfulness.
Thank you very much. In fact, we are currently serving as a chairman of the Agroecology and Precision Farming Committee. Professor Bharmani has been distinguished professor of botanical sciences, including various projects that he has led at the international level and the dedication that he has spearheaded in the past. And presently he is looking after this model of agroecology and precision farming project. So I would like to know from you the challenges that humanity is facing, particularly for the future where we are talking about 11 billion people and how to feed them. And recently you have been spearheading the project of organic farming along with the precision agriculture technology and methods. So what are the challenges and how do you foresee to overcome the challenges and convert that into opportunity for other people to also replicate this kind of model so that we can take care of the needs of humanity at large in the future?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Very gracious to you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by saying that all the residents of their park and all of the adherents to the Maharashtra are infected are pure vegetarians, more aptly lacto-vegetarians. Therefore, agriculture is an important activity in their park. Our linear leaders have attached great importance to agriculture and it serves to achieve multiple other objectives. It instills virtues of hard physical work, teaches to till and toil with their own hands, and eat only that one grows and earns by the sweat of his or her brows. With about 1,250 acres of farm land, the Albag is self-sufficient in major food grains, pulses, and edible vegetable oil. The Albag farm also produces fodder for the dairy cattle of the Albag Gaushaba that supplies milk and butter to the Albag residents. The organic agriculture of the Albag meets most of the principles of agroecology. It is sustainable, eco-friendly, consumer-friendly, and involves the participation of the community and runs on the principles of waste nothing and water conservation. It respects gender equality. Gents, ladies, and children from 3 weeks to octogenarians work together under the overall supervision and guidance of the spiritual master. In return, the quality food, raw or cooked, and milk and butter are provided to them at almost the cost price, and sometimes even below the cost price. For the residents of the Albag, the most important reward for working in the fields is the pleasure and blessings of their spiritual master, which helps to elevate their level of consciousness. The latest buzzword in agriculture is precision farming. It recommends the use of high-tech digital devices and automation for timely application of traditional inputs with the aim to save on inputs and labor costs and improve yields. However, these setups are not only very expensive, but also require technical expertise to run and maintain. And therefore, the implementation of the precision farming in developed countries, including India, has been very limited. One of the main objectives of the Albag agriculture being to create opportunity for the community to do sale on-ready service. Automation has been kept to a minimum as required. However, measures are taken to reduce the cost of inputs by periodic soil testing and applying fertilizer and water as per the need of the different fields. Where possible, pressurized drip irrigation and sprinklers are used to reduce wastage of water, to reduce depletion of underground water, processed sewage treatment plant water, and domestic wastewater are used for irrigation. Efforts are being made to partially replace water dumping crops like wheat and paddy by less water requiring crops like millets. Let me end by where I started. I'm permitted to say that the dietary habits have direct effect on the health of the environment and of human beings. Non-vegetarians, food production generates twice as much greenhouse gases as vegetarian food. A recent news item, if you have missed it, is that our ace Indian cricketer and a skipper of the Indian cricket team, Mr. Virat Kohli, could manage his hyperuricemia problem simply by changing over to the vegetarian habit. Thank you very much.
Radha Swami, it is indeed an honor to represent the Keynote Goshala at this platform. Radha Swami Satsang Sabha Goshala was established in the year 1926 and is currently a board to over 160,000 buffaloes, 53 goats and 12 camels. It's a unique model of community participation wherein the Institute, Agricultural Operations and Animal Husbandry exist together symbiotically in a trinity supported by the community. Moving further. धन्य सुदेश जहाँ तुम बसते तुम भूमि पवित्र जहाँ तुम जहाँ पद करते गौशाला livestock and people who render selfless service here are being blessed with daily visits of precious and Rani Sahibaji, both in morning and in the evening. These visits are the true source of motivation and energy for all of us for undertaking this delicate operation. Goshala promotes lacto-vegetarianism, provides milk which is a mix of cow, buffalo, goat and camel milk, a superfood and elixir of life to the community and the institute. Milk is priced at a very affordable price and caters to the last, the least, the lowest and the lost. The cow dung and lean are used as compost and for preparing ingredients which enable chemical-free farming on every inch of the Alabama soil. Goshala operates on scientific principles, modern techniques and blends ancient wisdom around the 4 key pillars of dairy farming, which are breeding, feeding, health hygiene and facilities management. Music therapy by playing Radha So Ami chanting, daily grazing of bird for exercising, having names of cattle along with sensors for activity monitoring, use of drones for monitoring herd and daily activities, data analytics, hot milk for superman children, butter, nutrition planning for cattle are just few examples which make the Goshala very unique. Move to the next slide. Over the last decade, Goshala has aligned to the Sigma 6 QBNA model of the other way of life, which was shaped by Precious Azur, and Goshala has efforted to contribute towards innovation, air quality, water quality, education, agriculture dating operations, and women empowerment. On the innovation front, we use cutting-edge ICT tools, RFID ear tags for activity monitoring sensors for herd management. Frugal innovations and blending them with ancient wisdom are key part of operations at Goshala, where day-to-day problems become the basis for innovative and practical solutions. On the air quality front, Goshala, along with DEI, operates a biogas plant which helps arrest release of methane, which reduces our carbon footprint. 1 kg of methane, CH4, is equal to 25 kg of carbon dioxide. On water quality front, use of ingredients like Jivamrit have discontinued use of chemicals like urea, DAP, which have filler salts and they create a cementing layer on the top layer of the soil. By use of these natural ingredients, the earthworms from deep below the soil, 10 to 15 feet deep below the soil, they get activated. And as they travel up to the top layer of the soil, they bring along with them nutrients which are available to the roots. And their movement also makes the soil porous. It is this soil porosity which then further helps recharging the water limit and as well as contributes to improving the water quality. On agriculture and dairying front, we are a catalyst for providing ingredients for chemical-free farming practices, milk for the institute where students run a dairy plant, fully functional dairy plant under the BWOC course of dairy technology, making a wide range of milk products. And Goshala also provides 24/7 by 365 selfless service seva opportunities for any and everyone. On the education front, Goshala is a live laboratory for the students from all streams for undertaking extensive research. Thus, Goshala is an integral part of the Dialbag eco-healthcare habitat, every part of which is spiritually charged. As part of the creation, this livestock that we manage is under the last phase, and thereafter, the spirit would attain the human form for its salvation. I will end here and be ever grateful to our Supreme Father for guiding and protecting us. We pray for grace, mercy, and forgiveness. Radha Soha.
Thank you, Professor Krishnan, for your question. So in fact, there has been a significant role of AI in particular, or computer science in general, towards the efforts in sustainable development, and for that matter, even for making studies and explanations and validations towards functional studies. And in fact, their accelerated development, to my mind, will open more opportunities for us. However, when we talk about artificial intelligence, which subsumes one of the R's, but lacks several other R's, namely intuition, inspiration, and imagination. So those are the aspects which are tied to human values. And to my understanding, the best way to go is to have human in loop. That is, to have AI hybrid model, where there is a supervision by the human, and then the proceedings take place from the AI or its derivative technologies. Just to add on to the impact of computer science towards sustainable development, one can find two broad categories of computer science impacts.
There are too many questions for a very small, short lecture. But let me say, as far as the safety and security are concerned, when I have held the positions in the government of India, but let me tell you, the architect here is the Supreme Father. And such a beautiful system has been put in place that we get to know if there is any occurrence of offense, or there is a possibility of any occurrence of offense. We have a closed secretary monitoring going on. We have the community policing, which is called our PEHRA system. Even the children and women, at times they are available for such duties. And security is first and foremost priority that is being importance and that has been the importance of priority here. Coming to the development of superhuman children and all that, well, let me tell you, having my background in psychology, I would say that we are talking a lot about consciousness. But one important aspect of the humans is the subconscious, or the unconscious, or the pre-conscious. Earlier also I have spoken about this concept. And what I find is that in Realba, we are also giving inputs to our unconscious. Because, as we all know, the conscious part of our mind is very, very limited. A lot of things are primarily going on. We are breathing, we are doing a lot of parallel functioning in the brain. So it is the unconscious, or the subconscious, or the pre-conscious, which generates habits, which generates behavior, which generates intuition and things like that. So, in every aspect of the way of living in the alpha, there are inputs to the subconscious or the unconscious. We do not indulge in a lot of things which we generally do in the world. There is no TV here, of course now you have a TV in your hand. But we don't have this kind of distraction. A lot of emphasis is there on cutting down the distractions, always ingrained working. So superhuman children are also being developed in that manner, that they are giving positive inputs, so that even the subconscious or the unconscious or the reflex action is a very positive thing. Thank you very much.
She said that they have responded to my complex question in a very elegant way and in a very simple way. What is the core of systems approach? That communicates the development
of solution for a wonderful question, and I think it's a very important question on how we handle this complex problem of sustainability and how we convince the community and people around how we are able to handle this complex problem. So let me give you a very interesting example of how this works, and honestly all of this works only through the grace and blessings of the Supreme Father, the most revered Bishop Zul. But for example, 2 years back we established these two centers in North America that kind of spun out from this whole idea of establishing research which is focused on sustainability and systems approach to the Western world and spreading how the Alba actually exhibits this sustainability in its very, very unique ecosystem. So we started with this whole initiative, and it was very interesting to note it took us some time to clear up. However, once we were able to establish certain forums, for example, research tools and seminars and conferences, we were able to attract attention not only from the students across the North American top universities, but also the granting agencies. They started reaching out, saying, how can we help? And I think that's a good sign that we don't actually need to go and convince them. They're already observing and getting convinced that work that we are doing at Galpa and its associated institutions is actually very innovative and novel. And I think just the progress that we make by, that we have made in these centers is through various, government agencies from North America, being in Canada or USA, and even, of course, Europe. The way that we have received response is amazing. We have received funding, we have received acknowledgement from the United Nations, and I think that's already a good sign that we don't have to go about convincing people, they are already convinced. It's a matter of just spreading the awareness throughout our journey, and I think that will get the word out, and hopefully in the longer term, the ultimate objective that we want to achieve of sustainability, or the ultimate sustainability that one of the recent panelists mentioned could be achieved. Thank you so much.
Hence, most ever gracious in you, most respected Rani Sarah, and other yes. I am greatly honored to be part of this esteemed panel. The theme of sustainability and development in essential harmony with the environment in the physical domain and the enhancement of consciousness and consciousness within the individuals are needed for a healthy development and growth of the community and the nation. As you pointed out, the question of newer technologies and their impact, as one of our panelists, Rani said, when we absorb new technology, there's always a potential of disruption of the community, and you can protect against it. Right? When we talk about these newer technologies in the information technology domain, there was already a lot of disruption caused by social media, positive as well as negative. And now with AI, and in the last few years, there seems to have been a quantum leap in the capability of AI. People are talking about the fact that ChatGPT 4.1 or whatever is the latest version of it can almost have the capability, reasoning capability of an average undergraduate student. And if this process of evolution continues even a little further, people even talk about AGI, where or super intelligence, where the AI will be even more intelligent than even the most smartest humans. We don't know whether that will happen in the near term or not. But definitely, a lot of tasks that today average human beings are doing, whether it is accountancy, whether it is office work, a lot of kinds of office work, correspondence, dealing with customers, so many other things. Even many tasks which typically a doctor or a lawyer does, many of them are getting, at least one can foresee that these may be impacted, and where you needed a company needed 10 lawyers to do a piece of work. Today, 2 smart lawyers assisted by AI to do the same piece of work. And the question becomes, what happens to the other 8 lawyers? What do they do? How do we educate our students to benefit? There are students who come and ask professors in computer science, like Professor Karwa, what should I learn? The programming is now being done by AI mostly. Should I become a programmer? Today TCS employs 600,000 people. Maybe in 10 years' time, the same output could be achieved by employing only 60,000 people. No. Then what happens to all the people who are getting hired by that? How should we educate them? These are very good questions. I don't think anybody has a clear answer to that. But clearly, the simple data processing tasks that humans have been doing may again move to machines. But we should leverage the fact that humans have higher levels of consciousness, higher intuitive capability, the ability to integrate art, science and engineering as this topic says. And we should train people accordingly. As Director Saab said, the Alba education policy focuses on building a well-balanced, complete man, which has all levels of consciousness, all levels of ability, not just ability in one dimension. And I don't think if we continue that philosophy and refine it, we should be able to have people still and the community still develop in a positive way. So overall, I think the approach that the Albert follows of the Sigma 6 QAB approach, as highlighted by the book of Gracious Hulu and Professor Srivastava and others, is a very important overarching framework through which we can deal with such challenges in the future. I have not mentioned, but there's also this talk about quantum computation and what that will bring, and what if you combine the two, what happens. So definitely there will be change, technology disruption. But if we as a human society and a community work together in Sahyog and Sangatan, we can overcome these things and achieve success. Thank you.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. Thank you for that question, Professor Bhushan. I think that's an excellent question. Also quite open-ended. So I think I want to probably talk about two different things. So you first mentioned, the idea of integrating Eastern and Western perspectives, also going beyond, or at least reconciling this idea that we have to go beyond pleasure and pain. So I think it is at least established in the realm of science and neuroscience that culture is not just trying to get rid, right? It's trying to explain every facet of human experience. And in my opinion, consciousness is probably the highest factor of human. So there is a way to reconcile both people. In fact, maybe connected to a big group. So now the major theme of my talk yesterday, or the goal of my research, is to find those common elements that actually can link between both the Eastern and the Western perspectives. So, for example, in at least the talk that I gave yesterday, I focused on two elements, which is just that processes need to be nonlinear and dynamic. And I think those are the ways of trying to find the common principles that can merge between two ideas is going to be common. And earlier in the presentation, there was a panelist who cited Gracious and said that models are meant to be caricatures of the physical world. And I really resonate with that kind of idea, which is that it is important for us to abstract away the details. So, for example, if you want to build something that flies, you want to model wings, or you want to model feathers. And the idea is that you want to model wings, right? So, the idea is to try and find the right kind of abstraction. And I think there are sufficient abstractions that can merge the Eastern and Western perspective. In my mind, I don't think that is.
Me. The importance of good air and water quality. Your water is not covered, both are very important. And both form the important way of the Sigma 6 Keynote. We are not only monitoring the levels of air and water contamination or pollutants, but we are also devising ways and means of improving the air quality, water quality, And do you need to set up three segment box? In this context, we have been carrying out this work for the past 20 years under the direct guidance from Greater Central for Benefits Service. Monitoring the pH of the water, which is very important. Once in a week, we sample water from the 9 wells. And there, what is we call MPN, the maximum permissible number of bacteria per deciliter in water. And you will be happy to know that in our case, this level has rarely exceeded 3, while the threshold permits to 8. Not only the MPN, we monitor pH, as I said, is a very important parameter, and our pH of our water remains slightly on performance as we move forward. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Anita to address the
Thank you, sir. The measures have been undertaken under vicious guidance. Firstly, air quality is regularly monitored in terms of PM 2.5 and PM 10 through real-time online analysis. Daily AQI reports following EPA protocols are prepared and compare the levels with subject rates and Awas Vikas program of RSP, leading to serious health effects such as respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. Due to their small size, PM1 is more harmful than larger particles, that is PM 2.5 or PM 10, and can also affect climate by altering atmospheric processes and cloud formation. Oxidative potential of aerosols is a measure of its ability to generate reactive oxygen species, which can cause oxidative stress in living cells. This stress can damage biological tissues, leading to inflammation, lung injury, and systemic disease. The oxidative potential is influenced by the composition of the particles, such as metals and organic compounds, which are often present in emissions from tractor, industry, and combustion processes. Together, PM1 and the oxidative potential of aerosols play a crucial role in assessing the health risk of air pollution and understanding the broader environmental impacts of aerosols on human health and ecosystems. At DEI, we have initiated research on both these areas and fortunately have recently got a paper accepted in the Journal of Science and Total Environment. This paper deals with the study of PM1 aerosols collected at Sikandra, determining its chemical composition and assessing its cytotoxic and mutagenic potential. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam, for the 2025. And I invite Honorable Director DI, Professor Patel, to kindly chair the session, please.
आपको ये ग्रुप डिस्कशन का वीडियो कैसा लगा ज़रूर बताएं, और इस मामले में कोई भी आपकी टिप्पणी है वो आप हमें नीचे कमेंट बॉक्स में जाकर के लिख सकते हैं, और जो वीडियो है उसको लाइक भी कर सकते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच। मैं आरवी सिंह यादव।